the close tends to take care of itself, Jay-Z, when the open, begins properly. He goes on to say from there that that people make three judgments on salespeople, as soon as we show up, and sometimes we tend to kind of forget, but that they're judging you, they're judging what they're buying, and then they're also judging the company. So, Jay-Z, what happens if they when they judge you, they like you and seem to trust you, but they don't like what they're buying? What do you think is going to be the outcome of that appointment?
Well, number one, I kind of relate back to one of your older programs, about the personality of the individual. I mean, you got some where they want just the facts, and you got some that want more information, and it's just the way the individual is. And when you show up at an appointment, okay, first impression is always the biggest. You want a nice clean car, you want a clean uniform, you want to do things different from your competitor. And what really sets us apart from everybody else is, the other day I went to a swarm call, Terminex, pretty big company, right?
Okay.
Got to even do the crawl space. Now it's a crawl. Now everybody in the right mind knows where the termites are. So all I was going to do is throw bait around it. But when I'm underneath there, the guy has a super duper leak. So point out the differences, because what that does is that basically builds your credibility.
Yeah.
And they got to trust you. And I also say, don't be so business all the time. Lighten up, get to know them a little bit, joke around a little bit.
Yeah.
Mix it up. And, they get to feel comfortable with you.
Got it.
Because I tried the ROC close, they were declined. Okay. And I was higher than everybody else. But they're going down to get what they call a home equity line. And they said they're probably going to get approved. And they're going to take that money and invest it in us.
Got it. So to boil that down, these three things that he's talking about here, or I would equate them to like a three-legged stool. If one of those legs is missing, the thing's going to fall over. So even if they seem to like you and trust you when they judge you, but they don't like the service that you explained, or they don't seem to like the company that's behind it, the stool falls over, you probably don't make the sale. Conversely, the other way around, they may really like what you explained and what it is that they're going to be buying, and they might really be sold on the company, but if they don't like you, they could turn around and call back and get somebody else to come out there that they would like better from Orkin and end up doing business with them. So you probably are not gonna win that way either. So point is, all three of those things are important. That's what he's trying to make sure that that we understand, that we're covering all of those bases, that it is a three-legged stool. And so he goes down there. Look down there at the toward the bottom of the page where he talks about his little pop quiz. He says you got to have that yes attitude, and as I mentioned, we're gonna address that in some detail next week. And then he says that you've got to have a really, what he calls, an unshakable belief system in your company, your company's services, and yourself. So there's those three things again that that you need to make sure that you have real belief in. Michael Gaddy, why is it important that you are really drinking the Kool-Aid and really sold on what you're selling and the company that you're working for?
Because I mean, it's simple. People are smarter than you think, and they will see right through you. If you're sitting in front of them proposing something that yourself's not going to work, your body language, the way it might sound like you're reading a script. You're not really got a grasp on what you're doing. You're just you're like a robot. But if you really believe in what you're doing, it'll convey to them that, hey, this guy believes in what they're doing. And I tell you what I use, and it's the honest truth. Orkins bonded my house. I had severe fungus issues, etc. when I bought my house. So all that's cleared up. So I can use that. Not only, hey, we can fix your issue, mine's fixed as well. So we're in the same boat. I'm just showing you what you need. So in a nutshell, people are smarter than you think, and they will see right through you if you're reading from a script.
There you go. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. That's a very good way to put it. So as we sort of try to wrap this thing up, Chris, when you look at those things that he listed at the top of the second page there, he wants to know, well, how ready were you? How friendly were you? How engaging? And right on down the line, I won't read that laundry list to you. You're probably a pretty good reader, but what he says is that how will demonstrating those traits reduce the amount of closing effort that you're going to have to put in the sale? If you do those things he's listing there, why do you not really have to go to a great effort to close a sale?
Because they already trust you. They trust your company. They trust the product you're showing. You've already gained like I said, you gain their trust. The trust is the most important thing you can gain in the customer. If you have their trust and they believe in you and they think you're doing them right, then the sale's going to happen at the end regardless. So you just got to go in there with positive attitude, but be friendly, and the rest of those things will take care of themselves. It's as long, I always say it's do unto others as you'd have done unto you, the golden rule.
Yeah.
If you treat your customers that way, you'll get to sell.
Yeah, and they'll be looking for a reason to buy from you. They'll be looking for a way to want to do business, because everybody wants a guy, and you're going to be the guy that they want, because in their mind, even if they don't say it out loud, they're saying to themselves, I like this guy. And again, we've done this before in some of these sessions, and I've dialed around and I've asked, why did you buy a car from the guy in the place that you bought the car, or the furniture from the furniture? And in most cases, you've come back and you said, well, I just like the guy, or I just like the lady that was that. And there's a lot of things that go into that, and they're a combination of that process of what we like. But again, it's like and trust. And Chris, you said it well. Trust is number one. Trust, supersedes the likability. If I trust you, then even if I totally don't 100%, like you, I can, I understand people are different. But if it's the other way around, if you're just a good old boy and a good time rock and roller, and you're really, really likable, but I just don't think I can trust you, probably still no sale. So both of those things go together. And in the process of doing that, we want to be conversational and consultative. How many times have we mentioned that? As well. Last point is we're about out of time. Sean, when you look at the last thing that he says in the box there on the last page, he's got a long quote there, and I'm curious, to get one of you guys, and let's just start off with you, just to weigh in on this quote that he makes there. What were your thoughts about that when you heard him say that?
The whole thing, or just like a section of it?
Pick a piece of it then. It's a long one, so pick a piece of it and make a comment.
But a culmination of the sum total of elements that make a favorable decision possible. So yeah, it's basically when you're showing up, you gotta not just go out there and explain everything and just be boring to the customer. You just gotta be, when you're opening a sale, be friendly with them, try to understand where they're coming from, and then just tell them what we could do, show them what we could do, and then make them trust that what they're buying is what they want. And then that way, you could read the customer by their attitude what they're going to possibly decide to do. Because I could quote them all, everything in the world, but they're only there to buy what they need most of the time. So,
or what they want.
Yeah, so that's why I gotta just,
Gotcha.
what I recommend we do, because I know you need this problem solved now, and then you just list up what else our company can do for them when they're ready to get that done, and then they feel pretty comfortable with that most of the time, and then they end up
Gotcha.
deciding to go with it.
Gotcha. John Lister, he makes the comment there that I thought was a little unique. He says that the sale is always made. He says either you sell the prospect on yes or they sell you on no. Weigh in on that.
That's true.
Where did you see that at?
In the box, in the box at the end.
Okay.
Where his quote is.
Okay. I don't see that on here, but basically, if we're trying to get a yes, back to what Sean was just saying about starting off with the opening, you're going to recommend everything you can. Obviously, but you're going to start off with, you're going to have a greeting, an introduction. You're going to qualify everything that they need. You're going to look at different things that we can propose to them to help them. They're going to gain trust in you. You're going to encourage those yeses. Some of the things that can lead to them saying no's are things like because every time you explain something that they may be interested in, they are listening to you, but they're qualifying you as well to determine if they want to say yes or no.
Gotcha.
Does that make any sense?
So bottom line to the thing that what he says is true. The sale is always made. It doesn't always go in your favor. Either they're selling you on no or you're selling them on yes, but there is a sale that's made in every transaction.